Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Yarn Everywhere podcast. This is episode 29, and I have so much stuff for y'all today. So, I missed podcasting last week, and I did not make an announcement the week before because I had planned on podcasting last week. We were at the beach and we had terrible Wi-Fi in the place that we were staying. So my plans to surprise y'all and to show you all of the things that I brought with me on our little mini vacation did not work out. So it's all good. I can just share all of that with you today. But I was so excited. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get to show them everything that I took with me and all of the things. And it just didn't work out. But here I am. I'm back. So I am going to jump right in and show y'all what I am currently working on. So I think I showed y'all, I think this was tiny when I started it. Um, Let me dig it out of my project bag. I really need to get a different project bag. I'm using the tote from the Arkansas Yarn Crawl, and it's just not ideal for this project because it's just a little too floppy. Like, I feel like I need something sturdy. Okay. So I got a little bit of a mess, but here we are. Um, I had to put this down last night, which I didn't work on it too much, but I kept looking at this side of it and I was like, that's looking a little frumpy. Like, I don't, and then I was like, well, once you block it, I'm sure it'll look a little bit better. And then I just kept staring at it and I realized I was on the wrong side. I was looking at the wrong side of my work. That's when you know, like, you just need to go to bed. So, this is the Cowl shawl by Expression Fiber Arts, and this is my second one that I've started. I haven't finished the other one yet. I'll do it. I'll get there. But one reason I absolutely love this knit shawl pattern is because I'm brand new to knitting. I say that I've been knitting for a year now, but reading a knit pattern intimidates me a little bit. I'm getting there. So I love that this has a video tutorial. Because getting past this first part, I still need a video tutorial, even though I'm starting to read the patterns. But anyways, and then after that, it's like a simple 2-row repeat, and I pretty much have it memorized. So that's one of the reasons why I love this pattern. Plus, it's gorgeous. So look at how this yarn is working up. I I'm loving it. So it's like a fade, and I started out with this color, and then I'm going to, and you see I've already added this color in, and then there's a gray. And y'all, these are just my colors right now. And I'm really excited because I know that I'm gonna have to find um some tops and stuff to wear with these once I get these finished. But I know that I will just enjoy these once I get them all finished up. So that is my current whip. And one thing that I've really had to kind of train myself when I first started crocheting, I was like so excited to start everything. Like, I wanted to rush through projects so I can get on to the next one. And it's like there's so many things I want to make and not enough time. With knitting, I think one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much is I know that these projects are going to take longer, especially since I'm using smaller yarn weights. So I kind of go in with the mindset, take your time, enjoy the process. Don't rush it. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love knitting. Sorry, y'all. I can't sit still. So I'm just going to keep moving around. Ignore me. Thank you, Sandy. All right. Let me move on to the next thing. Y'all, I have stuff everywhere. I haven't completely unpacked from my trip. This is one of the bags that I took. I love this bag because look, it has all of these pockets on the outside and then just one huge dump section in the middle. So I was able to just like throw everything in there. I love it. So I'm still working on the birthday party sock. I finished the other one. I will show y'all that next. And I just started the heel turn. Is that what it's called? Let me read. Nope, the slip stitch heel. So I just started the heel part of it. It's so tiny. So I'm working on that still, and y'all, I'm obsessed with speckled yarn, which y'all know that already, but socks with speckled yarn, I just love how it looks. So I will show y'all that finished one in a minute. All right, what else am I working on? Oh, I want to tell y'all about where did it go? I promise I spent time organizing before I come in here. I bet I left it on my chair. Interesting. I think I did. So, well, I'm a little sad. I believe I showed y'all the Brinley scarf that I'm working on, and I'm really sad that this is the only thing that I don't like about doing these podcasts live is that when I forget something, I can't just go run get it and edit that out. So, I'm gonna carry on. I showed y'all the Brinley scarf last week, and I was doing a tonal color, and then for the puff stitches, I was doing another pop of color. I just can't get into it, y'all. I don't mind changing out yarn colors, but I do mind with this. It's gonna take forever, and I just don't love it anymore. So, what I've decided to do is I'm gonna find some or I'm probably gonna dye some worsted weight yarn for the scarf because I want just like a variegated or something fun and colorful and just do the whole thing that way because I know I'm gonna love it. And that's one of the things that I've kind of made a rule for myself is that I've got to love it or I'm not going to stick with the project. Like I do this for the joy of it. So I'm going to frog that one. Kind of sad because I think it would be really pretty that way, but I know myself enough that I'm just not going to finish it. Um so I believe that is all of my whips right now because I finished up some things and I want to show y'all this yarn. This is one of the one of a kind yarns that I dyed on a mystery base. It's one of the bases that I bought when I first started dyeing yarn. And I know it has some silk in it, and I know that it is fingering weight, but that's all that I know about it. So I'm going to make something with this, and I want to show y'all what I talked about this last time, and then I never went back and told y'all about my idea. So what I want to make, and I don't know what it's called, I'm calling it a top, is it's going to be hard to explain, but my friend Lori showed me this. Basically, it's going to kind of come across your arms, ignore all that other over there, but kind of come across your arms and it'll be a little more fitted. And then I will like seam it together here, and then it'll have like bell sleeves here, and it'll come across my shoulders over here, and it'll be seamed together here. So it's almost like just some sleeves. Like if you had like a strapless dress or, a spaghetti strap dress and you just kind of wanted your shoulders covered. So that's my idea. And that's what I'm going to make with this. And I probably didn't explain that very well, but once I get it going, um I feel like you'll see what I mean. I need to get Lori to send me a picture of hers because she has one, and it's absolutely gorgeous, but I wanna do it in my sassy design, because I think it'll be so pretty. But instead of, like, with this sassy design, instead of it being like this, I want those double crochet stitches to be like this, like, I want the design to be like that. Okay. I'm gonna quit boring y'all with that. But I had to talk that out because I remembered mentioning it last time, and then after the video, I was like, "I never finished that thought." It happens, it happens. So, those are all the whips that I have. Let me show y'all what I finished up. Um, I have another pair of socks that I finished. I don't even think I had even started these last podcast. So I finished these. I started these on vacation and I finished these. And this yarn is from Sassy String Studio, and this is called Galaxy. One of my Canadian friends, one of my dear, dear friends, gave me this colorway for Christmas a couple years ago. And it's been in my stash. And it's one of those colorways that you just keep staring at and you're just like, I don't know what I want to make with it. And I was going through my stash before I went on vacation and I'm like, oh, this would make really pretty socks. So I have these on the blockers and I did mess up a few spots on there. You can tell the toe is a little weird, but that was just from me not paying attention. I'm still getting the hang of knit socks. Um, Funny story, the place that we were at had a lazy river. So it had this section at the hotel where it was like you walked over what they called a lazy river. So it was like a swimming pool, but it was a lazy river. And then in it went all the way around like an area where you can sit and it had more pools and it had some hot tubs. But in the lazy river, you just got in an inner tube and you just like floated around. So my husband and I did that I think our second night there, I had so much fun, y'all. I was like when he told me that the place we were going had that, I'm like, "I'm so going to knit socks while I'm floating down the lazy river," and I did, and this is one of those, well, I did one of these. Let me tell you. So I was like, I'm carrying my little project bag, hoping and praying that I don't like drop it in the water. And I finally like finagled the tube and I had my project bag. So I'm trying to, my husband already, there was only like a certain amount of tubes and I let him have one. And I'm like, I'll go find me another one. And it took me forever to find one. So when I finally found one, I had nobody to like, hey, hold my project bag or hold my tube so I can get in there without, my yarn and stuff going underwater. So I'm like, I'll just put it on the side of the pool and I'll jump in and then I'll grab the side of the pool. Well, the lazy river has the water flowing one way. Well, when I jumped in the tube, it started going, y'all. I was so scared to leave my project bag there because I didn't want somebody to walk off with it. Now, they would have been really disappointed because it was yarn, and, knitting needles, and I don't there was, like, a lot of kids there. I don't feel like that's what they would have been hoping for, but it takes a minute to get all the way around there, and so I did not wanna have to be away from my bag. I didn't want it to be I don't know, I was scared something was gonna happen to it. So I am going, like, upriver to try to get to my project bag, and there's all these people, like, coming at me, and they're like, "What is going?" They were some kids, they're like, "What's going on?" And I'm just wanting to be like, "I just wanna knit. I wanna sit in my tube and knit." So, you're welcome. I just in case, you needed a laugh today, I'm just so glad that nobody was, like, videoing me, and I'm glad that my husband did not see that because I feel like he would have videoed that. But it was really fun, and I had the best time just floating around on that tube and knitting on some socks, and my husband's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Look, just let me have my moment. That's all I wanted to do." So it was really fun. I knew I was not gonna be able to do that in crochet, but I was able to do that in knit socks. So these are my lazy river socks. Alright, I'm moving on. Also, I finished another pair of socks, and y'all, I'm gonna be so mad at myself if I forgot them. No, I didn't. Okay. Here is the birthday party sock that I finished. I haven't put this on the blockers yet because I'm working on the other one, and I like to, mark where I finished, like, the sock part of it before I start the toe decreases because now I can just take my sock and measure my other sock and measure it as I go, and I don't have to use my measuring tape. So that's why I don't block it yet. I just keep it like this, and then once my other sock reaches this point, I know to start my decreases for my toes. But I can't wait. I really like the sock blockers because it really makes them look like, so much nicer. So this is the first sock I have ever finished with actual sock weight yarn, and I love it. I love the feel of it so much better. So, yeah, they just take forever, but I love it and wanted to show y'all. This is with the birthday party yarn. So that is finished. I know y'all like, does this girl crochet anymore? Yes, yes, I do. Um, Here are the other socks that I finished. This is with my June, excuse me, I got the hiccups. This is with my June yarn, the Yarn Club's Coral Reef. And this colorway was called That's a Moray. And I did an unboxing video the other day of the June Yarn Club. Um, it was really fun. So that is on the channel, on this channel, and I will link that below in case you want to check that out. This is one of the colorways, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so y'all, I have officially completed 4 pairs of socks. Can you believe it? So this was my very first pair. They will forever be special because the struggle was real. Like, that second sock, it was a beast. And then this is my second pair. Well, actually, I made one of these and one of these, and I had so much yarn left over. I was like, "Nah, I'll go ahead and do another one." So that's pair 3 and 4. They are so much fun. I want to tell you, if you have been like, "I wanna learn to knit. I wanna knit socks," do it. Trust me, if I can do it, anybody can. And you will really, really enjoy it. I love it because it's like the perfect project that you can take along. Um, and they're just really fun. Okay. I'm getting a little distracted here. I'm getting excited. You can tell I'm talking about socks. Let me find my crochet stuff. Oh, it's right here, the big one. The baby blanket. Y'all, I started this baby blanket like 3 times, and it just was not what I wanted. And finally, I had this idea to begin with, but at first I was like, I really want a blanket I don't have to think about, that basically somebody tells me what to do. Like, chain this much and then, just follow the pattern and it's done. And I didn't like any of those. And then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do my sunshine stitches because I think that'll be really pretty." And it just was not what I wanted. So I ended up doing this one, and I love it. It's so squishy. And I think I'm going to make another one like this, and I'm gonna write this pattern up because I want everybody to be able to make one of these if they want. It's so pretty. And it just really, really worked with this color of yarn and with the chunky yarn. Like, I wish you could feel it. It feels like little clouds. Anyways, so this is for little Amelia Kate, and they're gonna call her Millie. And I'm really excited. So that is that. Um, so I do think I'm gonna make another one. I've got to go ahead and get this to her. Um, So I'm gonna make another one, and I think I'm gonna write that pattern up. Okay. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, sunshine cozies. It's almost time to restock the tea shop, and my brain has just been tired. There's been so much going on lately, that I just can't seem to start any big projects. So I'm giving myself all the grace, and I'm just doing really simple projects right now. Um, so these are my sunshine cozies, and I have had so many people reach out to me about the pattern, and it makes me so happy because there's people that are like, I don't read patterns. But I was able to, there's a sticky note. They're everywhere. Um, they're like, I don't read patterns, but I was able to follow the pattern and make the cozy, and that makes me so happy. But I know how I was when I was a beginner. Even if I saw something that I liked, I made up my mind in my head that if there wasn't a video tutorial, I wasn't gonna be able to do that. And I see me trying to repeat that with knitting. So I'm trying to challenge myself to, find a video tutorial, but also get the pattern and teach myself to learn the pattern. So I finally decided that I was just going to take the time to go ahead and do a video tutorial for this pattern. Um, and hopefully by doing that, I can encourage people that don't read crochet patterns that, hey, you can read crochet patterns. You just have to teach yourself to see what am I trying to say? You just have to teach yourself to learn that language and learn how to read it. And that I know for me, that's what I had to do is I had to follow a video tutorial and then follow a pattern. And then before you know it, like you can read patterns without even realizing it. So I have the video tutorial for this coming soon. Um, I finished the actual editing the video for the cozy, and then I'm going to have another video for adding the sleeve to it. So that's coming soon. And I have finished 5 cozies, the one on the cup, these, and one in a new color. And I forgot how much I loved this color. In fact, I forgot that, here it is. I had made my country bumpkin cup cozy with that color last year. So this one is one that doesn't have a bottom. It's just a sleeve for like a hot cup. But I love it because it covers the whole cup and it's super cute. Um and I love this stitch combination. So the other day, I was like, I saw this color in my stash. I was like, oh, I haven't used that color before. And then I finished it and I saw this on my shelf. I was like, oh, I have used that color. So this is, I love this cotton in the color Harvest, and it's really pretty. So let me put that back before I forget. And let me readjust here. Okay. So I showed y'all the socks, the baby blanket, and the cozies. Oh, and I forgot about the one I'm like most excited about. Look at this beauty. I'm probably gonna have to go back. Let's see. That is my Sassy Triangle Cowl that I made with the color Braless by 9 and Perfectly Pink. And in fact, I probably need to take that off of there so I can show y'all. Look, I hadn't weaved all the ends in, okay? So don't judge me. Plus, I really need to block it, but I wanted to show y'all. So I figured if I put it on the mannequin and it kind of laid out that maybe it would block itself a little. So this is my Sassy Triangle Cowl that I made with Braless by 9. I absolutely love this colorway, and I've been wanting to make something with it. And then when I saw this pink with it, I had to have it. So I think I'm gonna make another one. I think I have enough yarn left to make another one, and this is my idea, okay? So for this part right here, I think I'm going to do this whole part in that color, the variegated color. And then, I hadn't thought this out until now. And then start the pink, like do this whole part, the variegated, start the pink here, and then this part, the double crochet stitches, those will all be this color. So basically just switching out the colors here, except for this part, I will have like all variegated. So we'll see. I'm hoping I have enough. I have a good bit of this one left, but I don't have a whole lot of that left. So we'll see. We'll see how it works. All right, one more peek at my Sassy Triangle Cowl. I'm pretty excited about that. And that's all that I finished. Being out of town for our little mini vacation, and then for the yarn crawl, I really haven't had a whole lot of time to sit and do anything. And when I do, I'm knitting socks because they're just easy. It's something to keep my hands busy. All right, let me move on to yarn news. So last Monday, with the 25th, I shipped out all of my July yarn club. And this was a really fun month. I had so many comments of people saying this is one of their favorite months. They love the extra goodies. And several people said that one of the extra goodies was something that they had had on their wish list. So I just love that because that's part of it. Even though I've been doing this for over 2 years now, there's always a part of you that, like, second guesses. Like, am I getting it right? Am I doing it right? Is everybody happy? And because that really is, like, that's what I do this for, is I want to send out that squishy happiness every month. I want the receiver to just feel like they are so spoiled, because I know us women, like, we're always doing for other people, and we very rarely take a chance to treat ourselves and spoil ourselves. So I'm hoping that the Yarn Club is one of the things that they do just for them every month. And I want them to just absolutely love it and it to just brighten their whole day. So when I get feedback like that, it really just like, yes, I'm doing something right. Like I'm on the right track. So I appreciate all of the wonderful comments. So I'm super excited about, the folks that have already gotten their July packages. It's such a fun experience because usually I will forget to put up a post and I'll have a Yarn Club member message me and say, I got my package. And that triggers me to put up a post in the Yarn Club. So we have a post in there where you can post a picture of your yarn, not the extras because we don't want to spoil the fun, but there are usually several different colorways each month. So, and let me look. There were 3 colorways this month, for July. Um, and so people will kinda stalk that post before, their yarn gets there to try to be like, "Oh, I wonder if I got this one. I wonder if I got that one." So it's just another part of the experience for, like, just building the excitement and people getting to talk to each other and things like that. So it's one of my favorite parts of the month. Um, August yarn club theme is chasing sunsets. And I know last year it was one of my absolute favorite months because excuse me, because it was one of the first times that I just got into the dye room and didn't overthink it. Like I just let myself go. Like I just went with it, didn't second guess, and they were some of my absolute favorite colorways. So this year, for the chasing sun well, last year's was summer sunsets. This one's chasing sunsets. I think is even though, like, I have a million different sunset ideas in my head, I think I want to do some that are, those last beautiful colors kinda peeking out in the darkness before the sun completely goes down. I think that would be gorgeous. Like, have some, like, really dark, like, midnight blue, um, with some purple and some, like, pinks and oranges, um, and then I was also thinking maybe some, like, really, really like, some of the mountain sunsets where you have that really dark purple blue color with, like, fire, like, I just keep thinking fire, like a bright red, bright orange, something like that. So that's kinda where my brain is at right now. I have not gotten in there and dyed yarn yet. I have enough yarn to get started, but I'm waiting on a yarn shipment to come in, and I would just feel better if I had all of that before I jumped in. So that is my ideas behind August Sunset, and, the extras have come in, all except for one, and, I cannot wait for them to see the extras this month. I feel like I lucked up. I was able to get so much in my budget, which sometimes can be hard, so I feel like they're just gonna be extra spoiled this month, and I am gonna move on before I, like, start telling you all about it. Oh, so today starts the Verna Cowl crochet along. That's really hard for me to say. Um, if you have seen the Verna Cowl by a Naughty Habit Designs, it is just gorgeous. I love this design. She, I swear, is like the queen of color work. Um, so this crochet along starts today, and I will post the link to the group below. But you can find Danielle on Instagram or Facebook at a naughty Notty Habits Design, and she will have the link to the group, so it's gonna be in her, like, private Facebook community, and that's where the crochet along is gonna happen, and I don't wanna say too much, but there are some super fun prizes for everybody. Um, there might be some yarn, and, yes, there's gonna be some special things from me and from Danielle, because she designed the pattern with some of my yarn with my, Olive You Always and Fall Speckles, which is still one of my absolute favorites. And then we did kits earlier this year, and this was one of the color options, Beautiful Darlings the Speckled and Very Beautiful. So I cannot wait to jump in there and see everybody's beautiful Verna cowls, and crochet alongs are always so much fun because it's something you get to do with other people that just get you. They understand the excitement about pretty yarn and crochet patterns, and I just love it. So if you're interested in that, come join the fun. And I will have a link below once this video goes up, for y'all to join in that. Um, okay, last of the yarn news, and I'm really excited about this. So, do y'all remember this yarn? This is the 90s tie-dye. When my mom was here visiting, her and I stopped at a truck stop on the way home, and we saw some tie-dye shirts and stuff like that, and we both love tie-dye. Anyways, we get in the car and she bought a shirt and I bought something else. Anyways, we get in the car, and as we were driving back, we were talking about what we were gonna do when, we got back to my house, and she has been so interested in dyeing yarn. So, we come up with the idea of a summer tie-dye collection, and my mom actually dyed this yarn. We dyed this yarn together, and we dyed several yarns together, but this was my absolute favorite. Just watching her and mixing the color for her, and it was so much fun. So this is super, super special to me. And things finally have settled down enough for me to be able to put it all together. So, there's another colorway in the summer tie-dye collection. So this is 90s tie-dye. And then I had somebody do a dye my way where they get to pick their colors and technique, and I will dye their yarn live on Facebook. And this is that color. So this is retro tie dye, and I love this too. You can go on my website and see the colors better, or if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've seen these. I've done reels and posts about them. So we have 90s tie dye and retro tie dye. I did not get to keep any of these, because she ended up buying all of them. So that's why you're just getting a photo and not actual yarn. And then there's also an option to buy the 90s collection here. My hands are too small to hold all of that. So you can get the 90s tie dye with Purple Passion and Perfectly Pink. There's also an option for dark denim, that's kind of what I had in my brain because I just remember, wearing tie-dye shirts with like blue jeans or blue jean shorts or something like that. So there's several different options to choose from. If you are a Yarn Club member, you have even more options. And if you will look in the group at the pinned post, there's a special section of the yarn shop for y'all to order where you can add it to your August Yarn Club boxes without any additional shipping. So if you're a Yarn Club member, use that area to shop so that way you don't have to pay any shipping and you also have a lot more options too. So these are available right now in my yarn shop. They are a pre-order because with the pre-order, you get to choose exactly what you want and what yarn weight. There's 3 yarn weights to choose from. There's worsted, DK, and sock weight. And that way, it just helps me and you. That way, I don't dye a bunch of yarn and then they're like, "Oh, well, I wanted it on this weight." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I sold out of that and I only have it available on this." So for, small indie dyers, it helps us with pre-orders even though we know we want you to get your yarn as quickly as you do, even though we know that sometimes when we buy yarn, like, we want it yesterday. But I also want you to get exactly what you want. So it is a pre-order, but I promise I'm gonna try to get it out quicker than what I have up there. So if you order now, they'll be available for probably another week. I have in there that I will ship out, I think it's like September 9th, but I promise you, I'm going to try to get it shipped out when I ship out my yarn club on the 25th of this month. But I like to leave myself a little wiggle room because you just never know. Like, if I run out of yarn, I have to order again. You just never know with shipping. So, just wanted to explain that because sometimes we just don't understand behind the scenes, and I'm just so transparent. I want you to know why we do some of the things that we do. Ultimately, it's so that you can get what you want, and it helps take the guesswork out for me. So, these are now in the yarn shop, and you have several options to choose from. So, I think that is all of the yarn news. Hey, thank you. I love bright colored yarn. It's like just makes me so happy. And as you can tell, I love tie-dye. Um, all right, so I showed y'all about the cowl or the crochet along. Okay. So that is all that I have for y'all today. And I want to end with momentum moments. These are just like little things that I like to talk about to encourage you. Um, and today I want to encourage you to like start with what you have. If there's something that you've been wanting to do, and this came up yesterday when I was doing the video tutorial for the Sunshine Cozy. And I remember when I first decided that I was going to do like video tutorials, I did not have any equipment. I had like a lamp, and I don't even know. I, like, put stuff together. Like, I was balancing my phone on certain things to try to take the video thing or take the video. I had no backdrop. I figured out what I had right then that I could make it work to get started, because this is the thing. If I would have waited until I had all the lighting and I had all the proper equipment and I had all this and I had all that, and then I learned how to, properly set up a YouTube video. Like, there's certain ways you're supposed to do a YouTube video to get the max amount of views and things like that. If I would have waited to do that, I would have overwhelmed myself before I ever got started. And I never would have started because I would have procrastinated. I would have been like, well, I don't have this, can't do that. Because sometimes all our brain needs is just that one little excuse, and it'll keep us from starting. So I just want to encourage you, if there's something that you've been wanting to start, like, just start. Start with what you have. Um and don't focus on what you don't know or what you think you lack. Focus on what you do know. For instance, with the me starting the video tutorials, I knew what I struggled with when I first started crocheting. I didn't know all the things about crocheting. I still don't know all the things. But I knew what my struggles were, and I knew what I liked and I didn't like when I was looking at video tutorials, so I used that, and I used what I had, and I just started. And every time I did a video, every time I just started something, I learned from it. Was it perfect? No. Like, there are times I still want to go back and, um, and delete my videos on my YouTube channel. Like, they're embarrassing. Oh, but you know what? I leave them up because look how far I've come. Granted, I don't do very many, video tutorials anymore, but yesterday when I come in here and I set up and decided to do one, I was like, wow, I actually have like lighting now, and I have the equipment that I don't have to worry about like breathing too hard and my phone's gonna fall. But if I never would have just started with what I had, I wouldn't have been able to do that video tutorial yesterday. And that has been so true in every aspect of my business and every aspect of learning to crochet and learning to knit. Um, I just started with what I had and what I know. I have to tell myself what I know, because so many times I could be like, "Well, I'll never be able to figure out knitting." Well, with And that's how I was with crochet. I was like, "I'll never be able to figure out crochet." And I held myself back so much because your words are so powerful. And when I finally was like, "Okay, look, I know how to chain and I know how to do this, and I know that video tutorials are gonna help me." So, I had a phone, I had a crochet hook, I had yarn, I had YouTube, and I just went with it. So, shift your focus from what you think you lack or what you think you don't have, and see what you have and what you can do with what you have. And then as you learn, as you grow, you can, figure out even more. And you can just learn from your experience and you're just going to get better and better. In my Makers Momentum coaching group the other day, I told them that this is terrible, but I told them sometimes you have to just embrace the suck. You just have to embrace that you're just not gonna be the best at something. You're not gonna start out being awesome right out of the gate. And sometimes we just have to be willing to just kinda suck at something at first because we're just getting started. And then the more that you do it, the better that you get. But so many times we're scared of failing or, looking like we don't know what we're doing or sucking at something that we won't even try. So that is my encouragement for y'all today. As you can tell, I'm very, very passionate about that because it's something that I've worked through. It's something that from my own experience of there's so many things that I wanted to do and I always talked myself out of it. So don't hold yourself back. Um, and even with me learning to knit socks, like, I learned so much from that experience. I was like, I could, like, write a blog post about what I learned from knitting socks. Okay, I'm getting off of that because I could talk another hour about that. But I really hope that that encourages you. So, thank y'all for joining in, and, I hope that you enjoy these podcasts because I really enjoy going live and sharing all the fun stuff with y'all. So I hope that if you catch the replay, you'll just say hey to me. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know which tie dye is your favorite. Is it the 90s tie dye or the retro tie dye I showed you on my phone? And until next week, happy yarning. Bye, y'all.